Whoa. Dude, that was quick. I gotta do it over again. I can't leave it like that. Hold on. I'm gonna go back. I hate it when it does that. It just throws me off. Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Monday edition of Car Stereo Talk. We are your hosts. I am Dean. This is my partner, as always, Fernando. And today's a fun day for everyone in Florida. Let's just go with that. We have a hurricane fast approaching, fast approaching, doesn't that always get you? I think the anxiety of it approaching, is kind of more annoying than anything else. It's kind of like him walking by. You suck. Anyways, because it's like they give you, it's like a play-by-play on the slowest moving thing. Yeah. Yeah. And they just like, oh my God, it's a Category 5 right now. Yeah, but it's still in Mexico.
No, but I think you cannot play with those things, man.
They're playing with, but the thing is they're playing with everyone's emotions, which is just.
I mean, you have to be safe.
I don't know. I agree. I also think it drives me a little crazy.
A lot of people lose. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. There's no doubt about it. And there you go. I'm hunkering down. That's what you say. That's the phrase, by the way. If you're curious, you got to hunker down. Where you're going down to, I don't know, because if we get any lower, we'll be in the water. I mean, most places in Florida are like under 10 feet or below 10 feet, so it's like 0, 10 feet. That's where we're at. We're as high as we get. Dave from California, you and Dean and Fernando have a great YouTube channel. Very, very knowledgeable. Thank you so very much. No, thank you, Dave. Thank you. Speaking of Dave, hi, Dave. I'm number one. Yes, you are. Yes, you are number one in the hearts and minds of everyone. Hello from Vegas. That hurricane is looking scary for you guys. It is. It sucks. There's no question about it. Anyone know a good shop in Central Mass? I recall someone in the comments mentioned Springfield often. That's a good question, Craig. We'll make sure,
It's not like Mike.
I don't know where Mike is at. They're all in Connecticut. I feel like they're all in Connecticut.
Okay.
So there is a company in that area that Go Fast Solutions that we've worked with in the past. They're not a retailer. Mm-hmm. They're a wholesaler, but you might be able to reach out to them and ask them for recommendations on dealers in the area. I don't know if they'll do that kind of thing, but I feel like they might. You can also, Frankie is in that area as well, which is 12 volt. What's the name of his
marketing
company?
Group?
12 volt marketing group.
Yeah.
On Instagram, you can look for 12 volt marketing group. It's a gentleman by the name of Frankie, and he's the rep out in that area.
Also check Broken Silence Car Audio.
BJ. Yeah.
He might be in that area. So Broken Silence Car Audio.
There you go.
Yeah, you can call him.
But that's what we got for you on that one. It is Monday, guys. And so at this point, go ahead and start getting your questions in. I'm going to hide this comment. And because it is Monday, that means it is, of course, this point. Woo, that's right. The 12 volt clean wire club photo of the week. Oh, I'm so excited. I love this segment that we do because it gets to highlight somebody that's done a spectacular job. And this week, as always, or this week is brought to you, not as always, but lately as always, is brought to you by the fine folks at Kenwood. That's right. Head over to kenwood.com. Check out their lines of speakers, radios, and amplifiers. I, of course, as everyone knows, I'm a big fan of everything that says Exelon on it. You get a 2-year warranty, along with, you just get one of the baddest bitches on the block. So definitely head over there and check them out. But the one thing I love about this picture, and by the way, I don't pick these, so I'm equally as surprised as you are when we see these things. These are some of my most favorite amps of all time. These are the Mosconi Zeros. And these things are so awesome. Like, this to me is like, oh, it's so sexy. So do we know who did this?
Mr. Calderon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Calderon de Rios.
Is it a shop?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm guessing.
I don't know. It's fantastic.
Even if it's not.
No, I'm just curious because it just looks so good.
So if you go to his post, he has the process of
the whole thing.
Every single, because it's stacking.
Yeah.
So it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. He did a nice job. Definitely did a nice job. So congratulations for getting at the top of the page. If you would like to have your picture, make sure just submit your awesome 12-volt wiring, because that's what we like. And thank you, Kenwood, for sponsoring this and making it all possible for us to bring this cool thing to you. Ooh, picture. That starts the show, guys. So, hey, listen, if you got a question, like I said, start typing it in now. Fernando's going to go through there and pick them out. For those of you that are wondering, like, what's going on here in Florida, yes, we do have a hurricane fast approaching. Yes, we are in the target zone. Will it hit us? We don't know. We're right now dealing with what we like to call the cone of shame. That, it's just a cone of uncertainty. We don't know. It's like 150 miles wide where it could possibly hit. Hey, waiting to see how this will be for us in the Savannah Hilton Head area. We sit 15 feet above sea level. Yeah, so more than likely, once it gets past us, it's going to hang a left and go up the coast into that. Yeah, so that ought to be interesting to see, as always, what that is going to do.
What's up, Mr.
Buenos
Laura?
tardes. But this first segment that we get to answer, oh, wow, that was so cool. This first segment that we're going to spend time talking about is brought to us by the fine folks at Mosconi-America.com. So I had a question this week that I thought was fantastic. Somebody asked me about this particular little monster right here, which is the Pico V2, because this is the new version of the Pico that just came out. And they were like, so do you like the new Pico? And I was like, I love the new Pico. I'm digging the new top. I love the new black look as opposed to silver. But one of the new features is this area here. That top is magnetic. So when that top pulls off, here are all your dip switches for configuring for high-level input, as well as taking care of your SB issues. So if you have a Bronco or a new Ford that uses that SB type amplifier, or a Volkswagen or any of those, you can easily flick the dip switches here. Plus, that allows you to put the cover back on in any configuration you want. So you can put it on, you don't have to be limited because the logo is wrong. If you scroll down here to the power, which I think is one of the cooler things, it's a staggered power. So you have 4 channels by 50 that are basically 4 ohm channels, and it's not bridgeable. But then you also have 4 high power channels that are, so you can go down to 2 ohm and are bridgeable, and they're 80 watts. So 4 by 50 and 4 by 80 comprises up those cool channels. So that's pretty awesome. When taken to their maximum, at 4 ohm, you get the 45 by 4, and then you can get 2 channels by 210 watts if you bridge them. So lots of options there for you to do. It also comes with a complete DSP built into it. It is an 8 to 10, so that means you have 8 channels of power, 2 channels of output to go to like the Pico 1000 watt mono amplifier, which is the exact same size. You can make 2 of the littlest, sexiest amplifiers on the block. And they are going to be the ones who bring us to this. If you'd like to know more about these amplifiers, please head over to Mosconi-America.com and check them out. Pico. All right, bring up the first question, Fernando.
Okay.
Why is the easiest way to run a zero gauge power cable through a firewall aware? I'm thinking aware on a Ram 1500 2019 driver's side, right? In the clutch, where if there was a clutch, the clutch little hole, like there's a hole there. If it's an automatic, which most of the Rams are, there's a clutch hole in the firewall that's gigantic. It's plastic. You can easily drill through it. And it's still in the 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you don't ever complain about Rams when it comes to putting holes in the firewall. They're like the one of the more easier ones to do. I don't like using the term easy. Compliant, maybe more compliant ones.
Yeah.
He's not complaining because some of them suck. What's up, Brad? Brad checking in. What's going on? Ooh, we got some cool parts over here we're going to talk about later. Hi from New Zealand. Stay safe, man. Stay safe. This hurricane is no joke. Oh, it is not. It is quite crazy for sure.
Okay. Next one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm literally waiting on you. Keep going, man. You can do it. Has an owner and installer. I appreciate everything you guys do online to educate people on the way to do things correctly. Scott, you're more than welcome. I mean, that is the goal. That was always the goal. When we started this many, many years ago, it was all about educating the consumer so that they could come into a retail store, or if they're going to do it online, whatever works for them, and have some expectations of what they should be getting, and therefore ask for that, which is kind of cool. And also be able to tell when somebody was being a total liar to them, which happens. And that's why we have 911 videos. It kind of sucks. When's the next time you're coming to Arizona? I'd like to get an install for you. I am never coming to Arizona to do any installation work. But we will be there for Dino's Get Down in November. So second week or something, third week in November, I think is when it happens. Haley and I will be there at the Dino's Get Down, which apparently is anyone can come. So that'll be the next time we're there. Pico, 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 Pikachu.
That was funny.
I know. I like Pikachu. That was a good movie. Only because Ryan Reynolds played Pikachu. So, I mean.
Yeah?
Yeah. You haven't seen that?
No.
Oh, you guys should watch it. I think you would like it. It's pretty cool.
No, Sebastian already watched.
Oh, okay. Well, it was good.
There you go.
Hang on. Let me click this one. Any experience with the Kicker 51HS10 Power Hideaway subwoofer? Any good? Okay, so this is a funny story. Thank you for asking. Fernando's doing this on purpose. So years ago, when we went to do our first trip to Kicker, I was spending the day with Lori, and we were walking through the warehouse, and we were filming stuff and talking about stuff. And I saw these sitting on a shelf, and I said, "For the love of God, why do you guys make these things?" And she goes, "Dude, we sell them by the container." And I said, "Oh, well, never mind. Keep making them. Go team, go." So are they good? That is the question, right? And what that means is, are they good for you? Okay, because they're good. They're good. There might even be great. However, that definition is on a sliding scale once we input you into the equation, or me, or Fernando. I'm not just picking on you. And what I mean by that is, these things are designed to give you a small amount of bass up front in the cabin. They are not made to sound like a 10-inch subwoofer in the trunk. They're not made to sound like a real subwoofer located behind the seat. They are for a car that has adequate amount of sound, nothing too loud, an adequate amount of sound. They're, again, subjective. And to add just a little bit of impact to it. So you're not looking for something that's like, oh my gosh, because it's not like a 10-inch real subwoofer that they somehow managed to put into this small aluminum box and are going to get this amazing sound out of it. It is a solution for somebody. Typically, the only time we put these things in are for older gentlemen that want to get their butt jiggled just a little bit. Very rarely do we put them, like, we've had one guy that absolutely had to have one, and he wanted it, like, put it here, and we're like, this is dumb. And we did it anyways, which I hate doing, and he was totally like, this sucks. And we're like, yeah, that was the hour I spent trying to get you not to do it. He thought I was lying to them when I said, this is not made for this. So are they great? Are they good? Yes, they're all of that. But are they good for you? If you're thinking this is going to go in and sound like any other boxed style woofer, like a legit, no, it does not do that. It does not do that at all. You can put two of them in. I've seen people do that, and I've also seen people replace them the next day. So it just depends. It just depends. So, hi. Hey there. How are you? I'm fine. Heroes of the 12 volt today. Be safe. We will do our best, Mr. Bennett. Thank you very much. Evening, fellas. I appreciate the support y'all give our crazy community. Very much so. Made me step up my installation tech skills. Stay safe during the storm. Thank you, Rick. That was very nice of you. And I'm glad that we do this because we enjoy it. Let's be honest. The amount of work that we put into this, sure. But it's fun, and we have a good time. And I've been doing this my whole life. And if I can help anybody enjoy this hobby more, I would. Magazines don't exist anymore. So where's the fun in it all, right? So we get to share with you guys, and it's fun. Okay. Hi. Hi. My name is some shitty. Anyways. Hi, about to install a kicker key in biamp mode in a 24 Silverado. The phase from left to right is 180 out from the factory. Should I fix it while wiring inputs or let the key DSP correct it? Okay, timeout. It is not 180 on the factory. It has an all-pass filter. And if you're using polarity pops, the frequency that polarity pops is at is about the frequency that the all-pass filter is at. The simplest solution for this is to not do anything other than wire it up correctly, meaning whatever the radio is putting out when positive. So, on this side, if you're looking at the clip and the left is positive, the right is negative, do the same on this side. What you should do, and what will make your life a lot easier, is get a key lock and put it on the front two channels. That will take care of all of that nonsense, okay, for you, because that's what it's designed to do. It'll remove all of that for you, okay, the all-pass filters, the equalization. It'll make life, so any phasing, everything, go bye-bye. So that's what I would recommend doing. That's what we would do. Like if you came in and you're like, I'll be like, that's great, we're going to need this. Oh, man, yes, you're going to need this. Now, here's the caveat to all of that. The only reason why you have to do this is if you want to use time alignment. If you do not want to use the time alignment feature, like if you just want to click it off, you just want the EQ, the volume, the separation, then you don't have to deal with it. It'll image the way it's imaging now, so which means above the steering wheel and above the airbag. It will never get to the center, no matter what you do. So that's why you're fixing it. So if you want to use the time alignment that's built into that to move it into the center, you have to fix it. If you're not worried about that, then you don't have to fix it, and you can keep going down your path. I know, that was crazy. That was a good question. Do you guys favor the moving mic method or stationary mic? I do the moving mic method, but I'm going to do a few phase and stationary mic because I'm not seeing exactly what I'm hearing. Thanks.
So this is the next one.
See my question above about using the moving mic or stationary mic method, please. I'm asking because from 30 hertz to a 10,000s, I have a 40 dB difference from, which seems a lot. That does sound like a lot. So, okay. So we use a stationary mic, too thin if I go flatter. So that sounds like a levels problem to me. Like that literally just sounds like a levels. Like I need to bring some levels down somewhere. And that's normal. So, all right, here's how the tuning process goes for us. But before we do that, let me do this because this is going to take some time, and I want to make sure we switch this over. I'm just going to pop these guys in. Hey, this next segment and this answer I'm going to give you is brought to you by the fine folks at AudioControl. That's right. Hey, did you know that AudioControl just came out with an Epic Series amplifier, Fernando? Did you know about that? Have you seen one of those yet?
No.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in the brown box that was sitting on the counter that we couldn't talk about. Yeah, that's right. If you're interested or want to know something about it, for one, head over and watch our video on how the Epic Series amplifier works. And, of course, head over to AudioControl.com where you can find links to picking one of these new bad boys up. Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, so to answer the question about do we use multi-mic, do we do this? Little of that always. And the problems you might be having because you're seeing a lot here and what is going on. So we use a single stationary mic, okay? Because what I'm doing, the first thing that I do in the car when I get in is I EQ right, then I EQ left, and I break them down in their corresponding things, meaning I want this tweeter and this tweeter to look the same. I want this mid and this mid to look the same. I want these four speakers to look the same. And then I want this mid bass and this mid to look good, and I want these four to look good, and then I want these six to look good. That's the process that I'm doing. I'm matching them along the way, and I'm doing group delay as needed, or group adjust as needed, meaning when I'm looking at the two of them at the same time, what am I getting? Am I getting a boost? Do I need to remove a boost? Am I leaving a boost? Now, when I'm doing the mid-range to tweeter or the mid-bass to mid-range, I'm dealing with the level, okay? So I'm not worried about level until I'm comparing the two together. So when you break it down to just the speaker, I want that speaker to look the best that it can. Like, this is what I want this speaker to do. So I get it to do that. and then I'll adjust the mid-range. And I know right away when one level is too high because I can see it on the RTA. Like this guy, when I'm just playing the tweeter, it's like it was up here, let's say 6. I'm just pulling a number. And then I play the mid-range. It's like 3. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Okay, I know the tweeter's coming in way too hot, or the mid-range is way too low. Either way, I'm just going to get it to where I need it. So I'll increase my sensitivity on my RTA so that I can see more of the action. Okay. And so now when I sum those two together and I have this tweeter that's like this, and this mid-range that's not, I'm bringing them more closer to where I want them to be through level control, which is like important. But I'm not worrying about, so a lot of guys, some people, let's just say that because I don't know how many of them there are, but some people will do like a group adjust. So they'll do all the lefts and they'll do all the rights, and then they have to deal with all of this nonsense. And it's like, at that point, that's cool, but I like to know what speaker is my problem. So that's why I kind of break them apart and deal with it that way. As far as this goes, we've done that before, and I didn't really see any benefit from it because at the end of the day, I got to get into the car and I have to listen to it with my ears, and I have to figure out, does this work? Did what I see on the board match the performance that I'm getting out of the drivers? We do hundreds of cars, so most of the time we can kind of look at the screen and be like, we know what this is going to sound like, but sometimes you get in the car and go, haha, you played a trick on me. That's no fun. So yeah, that's kind of how we deal with that. What's up, Eduardo?
Hey, buddy. Sorry. Sorry I didn't answer your call.
I saw the shop. I saw the shop boarded up going past today. Good luck with that, guys. Do that, man. Thanks, man. And he's got a drone.
Huh?
He's got a drone. That's a drone.
Yeah,
that's a drone. That looks like a fast drone. Yeah, I suck at drones. Woo-wee! What's up, Mel? In my Macho Man Randy Savage voice. Ooh, yeah! There, okay. World Finals this week. I'm excited to see y'all there. Right now the plan is if the world doesn't stop sometime Wednesday or Thursday, we will be there. That's the goal because everyone that was leaving will be coming back, so we should have an open interstate all the way up. I was looking at that because all those people will be on the other side of the road, so we should just be like eastbound and down.
120?
Oh, fuck, pedal to the metal. We'll be rolling the wheels off of this bitch right here. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, this hurricane's going to hit everybody. Good afternoon, Dean and Fernando from Arizona. What is your guys' honest opinion on Boss new floating screen head unit? Jeff, thank you so much for asking this question, because that brings up another point. We're supposed to have them here Thursday. And as you can imagine, they've canceled their trip wisely because it would really be stupid. So they're going to reschedule and hopefully we'll get them on. Now, to the question at hand, I think Boss makes one of the coolest ways to attach a screen to a radio out of all of these. Let me tell you what, some of these suck really bad. Like the amount of nonsense that you have to do to put a radio into a body is like, ugh. They have 2 little buttons that you press and the whole thing comes out like a cartridge, and you can hold it in your hands and then you can click it back in and everything works. It's like, that's really cool, because one of the problems you run into is like on his car, we just got done putting the 9500 ES in it, and it's like we can only get it so tight up against the dash because we need to be able to put the dash bezel back on and then get the stupid little screws in there. So we got it tight. Like we built a whole retro or a whole new dash kit and move stuff back, so it's like we have a really thin screwdriver that we can get in there, and then he wanted to tilt it, so it was like, it's like this is where it has to sit, and it's not fun. And I'm not picking on Sony, everybody's like that. JVC's like that, Kenwood's like that, Pioneer's like that, Sony's like that. You know who's not like that?
Who?
Boss. Okay, so moving on.
They are the boss.
What's up, Angel? Dean, will 2 8-gauge wires fit into a 4-gauge ferrule, Fernando?
I would never do that, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
I don't think it will. I think because it's so wide, it's weird this way.
It's because it's like,
the hole is
plastic.
Small. It's doing this as opposed to that.
The cover. What did they call?
Jacket.
No.
The sleeve.
The sleeve.
It's also called the jacket. It's the same thing.
Okay. The jacket. I think it's 2 jackets is too much.
I think it is too.
But
So there are some 4-gauge, like they're not a 4-gauge. Like we use the 1/2-inch 4-gauge, and then they have the 5/8 4-gauge.
Yeah.
I think it would fit that probably.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So they make like a 1/2 inch, a 5/8, and a 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
The 3/4 is like for 0, or the 1 inch is for 0.
Mm-hmm.
I think going one step between 0 and 4, they do have one for that, would probably be okay.
I mean, probably if you peel off this much of wire, maybe, and then you have to like.
Well, some of those also have the lip inside of them. You know that you ground out the lip before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is cool. You could probably do it if you did that.
Yeah. I mean, depends what you're trying to do and where it goes, but
yeah.
I mean, I never try it.
Will do, Christian. Says stay safe. He's telling me to stay safe. You're on your own.
You guys.
You're on your own. So stay safe. Oh, Miss Dean. Oh, okay. Well, not even me. He's like,
dude,
screw the both of us.
Yeah, exactly.
It does give us. Hey, fellas, praying for you down there to hit us or to go around us, because that could go either way, right? I'm just saying.
It doesn't go around.
I want it to go around. Dude, I want it to be like, we're going around. We're going the long way.
Nope.
We're going the long way.
All right.
Any tips on clean wire to a suspended amp rack on the partial shelf if you plan to enter a competition or spare tire area? Did you say competition? Why did I say competition? Okay. Okay. So, yes, 2 sheets. So we've actually done this. There's probably a video somewhere about it. Because this was an issue we ran into. We wanted to make sure. So first things first is when you're putting them underneath a rear deck, they should not be facing down. Meaning the heatsink should not be facing down, because heatsink, heat rises. And if you turn an amplifier upside down and attach it to the rear deck, guess what? Your heatsink is no longer going to function properly. They need to be facing this way with the heatsink facing up. So that's the first problem you run into, is making sure that your heat sinks face up and not down, which if you're hoping that everyone can see them might be a problem. Okay, so I don't know, it depends. But so what we ended up doing in this particular case, because we knew we were going to be doing a bunch of zip ties, that was one of the things they wanted, was we made a shelf and then we built the whole amp rack with all the zip ties and all the screws and all that nonsense, and then we input it into the shelf, and then we put the shelf into the car, so that when you looked on the bottom, it just looked like a clean piece of nothingness. But that was the advice. My
name is Amanda.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Grover.
All right, so hang on. I'm trying to find Frank's. Okay, right there.
Okay, Frank. What happens when you install? Okay, what happens when your install is involved in a car accident? How do you get my gear out of the car? My wife was rear-ended. Hey, that's a fantastic question.
Yes.
Fernando actually has an answer for that, because recently he got to go extract some equipment from a car.
Yes.
Bring a crowbar is always my advice, because you might need one to get it open. But a lot of this is going to come down to the insurance company and what they're going to be prepared to cover. Yeah. So in some cases, if the insurance company is covering the car, that means they're going to pay for the equipment and the labor that was put in it if you have proof of what you had done.
And that's just that.
Sometimes they won't. We also found that some insurance companies will not let you open the hood of the car, which can become scary. So it's like they won't let you do that. So you can get your property out of the back of the car and your property out of the inside of the car, but you cannot disassemble part of the car. Correct. Because they are painted. So like door speakers and stuff like that, where you could probably sneakily take the amplifiers out of the trunk. That's going to vary. Now, what was your experience with this when you had to go check out? What car was that? Was it an SC 400?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends of where did they take in the car. So when I had an accident, I took my car home. So at that point, I had the ability to remove everything that I can, and then they came and pick up the car, and I was done. But if they take it somewhere else,
that's what I was talking about.
Then you have to wait for the people that some people they not allow you to do that unless it's in the insurance claim that they say yes.
So you're totally ignoring the car I was talking about.
I don't know
when you and Aaron went and picked up the property out of.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So you guys might remember the cool Lexus we did for Paul's son. And I was like, this is probably too much car for him. SC400.
What happened?
Yeah, when he drove it through a wall.
Really?
Yeah, and then you and Aaron went and picked up all the
That was
equipment
that
in
car?
it. Yeah,
that.
yeah, plain stupid. And then they told, specifically got told, don't tell Dean.
Listen, when somebody tells me, I don't tell nobody. This is like, that's how you keep shit, like, don't tell.
So sad.
Hey, man.
So sad. And he told him not to tell him
secrets.
because he was afraid I'd clown his ass. How sad is
dude.
that? Yeah. Anyways, hiding current comment. Bring me up another one.
All right.
Yeah, he's fine. He was fine. The car was actually, that was the car.
That's
the
why. That's why they don't want
like a tank. AudioControl's DQ DX 6-channel 7-band equalizer. Can you please explain the reason you will need this? I mean, is there a reason? I don't know. But, okay, so for those of you that have never heard of this, we never got one, which was kind of funny, because I don't even know if they're available anymore. But it's kind of a better version of this guy right here, which is the LCEQ1. So the DQ-DX, they had the DQ-DX and the DQ61. The DQ61 was the high-level version of it, and the DQ-DX was the RCA version of it. It was kind of the precursor to this guy right here, which is the DM810, which is the DSP amplifier. And it was also kind of the natural transition from like the EQLs and whatnot, to where AudioControl has always had some form of analog equalizer in their lineup. They probably won't anymore, but they have in the past. The reason for it, ow, that hurt. The reason for it is that some people out there don't want to do DSP because they don't want to plug into a laptop or anything like that, and they just want an analog EQ. Well, there you go. The DQ-DX gives you an analog EQ that you can play with and turn dials and, not have to plug into a laptop. It also introduced you to really basic time delay, in that it could delay the driver's front speaker and subwoofer. So it had a little knob, and there used to be an app that would basically just do a polarity pop, so you could turn the dial until it moved it out, and it felt like there was a center image in it. But then, yeah, I think that one's just kind of disappeared in the lineup. You could probably find some somewhere, but yeah, that was one of those things that the DSP kind of... Hi, Mike. How are you?
Man?
Boston Mike. I went to buy some donuts yesterday, and no, I'm the only one that likes Boston cream donuts.
Really?
Yeah, and so I was like, I'm not buying a 6-pack of Boston cream donuts because, like, I can't eat that. I want one.
Oh. Okay.
DMRTA get used anymore. We use it all the time. I love that thing. It's simple. I have a Mosconi 530 and my 217 Honda Accord. Every time the engine fan turns on, my sub volume comes down, and when it
shuts off, the volume stabilizes.
Yeah. Okay.
Any idea what's wrong?
Actually, yeah, I know exactly what's wrong with that. Your battery is going dead. So here's the thing. What you want to do in order to kind of get an idea of what is happening is take a voltmeter and attach it to your cigarette lighter. Okay, you can buy these cool. Probably get it on Amazon. Where the heck is it? Oh no, I can't find it. Okay. Anyways, I don't know where it went. I was probably down next. Oh, hang on. Here you go. You can get one of these cool things here, which is a cigarette lighter. So what this allows you to do is you can plug this into your power port, not your cigarette lighter. They're not used for that anymore. And then you can hook your voltmeter up to here, your digital multimeter. And what you want to do is you want to keep an eye on your battery voltage. A lot of the times what happens in a Honda is if it's going under 45 miles an hour and the air conditioner turns on, the alternator doesn't work. And so your voltage is going to go right to the floor. Then when the air conditioner turns off, it comes back up. So you're probably having issues with the alternator not charging the car. I don't have a solution other than maybe you might want to think about adding a small battery into there. to kind of increase the capacitance. So when the air conditioner does do its thing, but yeah, that's kind of where you're at. Dean Christian is asking if he should ground his house with a 4 or 0 gauge. If the hurricane is coming, what do you recommend? I mean, I feel like an 8 gauge would probably do the job for a house, but if his house isn't grounded, yeah, he's on his own. It's going to suck to be him.
I mean, it's not in the ground, so
yeah, you literally just stick it into the ground. Well, okay, so typically what happens is how you ground a house is you take a piece of rebar grounding rod and you jam it into the ground about 3 or 4 feet. Then you have this cool clamp that attaches to it, and then the wire goes off into the fuse panel, and that's the copper wire. It's actually ground because it's going into the ground.
Yeah, I have it behind the house.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
That's so when the power hits your house, it has some place to go into the earth where it can be absorbed, hence the name ground, not negative. Hey, go ahead and hide that for a minute. It's time to talk about...
Sure, we have the bus ready. Yes, man. Be safe.
Yeah. I'm not going to Orlando. Those guys are going to do worse than we are. Hey, guys, it's that time again to talk about ARC Audio. As promised, we got a box over there that we have not yet gone through, but we are slowly but surely pulling pieces out of it. And today is no different. We pulled out pieces. They make this guy right here. I know what you're saying. What is it? It's a bag of cool stuff. No, this is designed. It is a cool metal rack. It is an amp rack that allows you to mount the Moto 720, boom, down right into something. In this case, probably a Harley, a roll cage, or anything like that where you want to make sure that amplifier has a nice solid mount. This could probably also work in a seat or in a side panel because the Moto 720 is actually very small. I'm thinking they should make something like this for the Blackbird.
Yeah.
I think that would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is also something else that they make, which is a power kit. So this one is actually made for, I believe, the Harley Davidson. This is the FH2024 RCA. So this is designed for everything. This is take your Moto 720 and makes it a plug and play. It has the Harley Davidson plug on it. But there again, it's just a power kit for a 4-channel amplifier that you could use in anything. It's pre-covered. It has the proper fuses in it. It's actually really nice. I like this.
Look at that. It has everything in here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then also, they also make these here, which are the 6.5-inch speakers. This is also for the Harley Davidson. But there again, these are those weird things where there's probably a use for them that we will never find. But, it's a 6.5. So basically it goes from like a 5 1/4 to a 6.5. And I know some of your minds right now are going, ooh, wait a minute. That might be pretty cool. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. But if you do have a motorcycle or Harley Davidson, this is an adaptive plate.
This is actually just because the angle of the speaker.
Yes.
But that would be
perfect in your car.
Perfect because it has the inside screws, and then the outside is bigger. So that's actually
and it's angled. Yeah,
it's angled. So that's pretty good.
Pretty badass. Yeah. But anyways, hey, we have
where they can find it.
They can find it at arcaudio.com. So make sure to head over to arcaudio.com. Who's going to be the next sponsor for the next couple minutes during the Q&A portion of the show? I think I should watch the Muppets. I'm channeling my internal Kermit the Frog.
To confirm, we have Mike over here.
I've used them for a Harleys. There you go. I figured. All 3 I purchased with the Moto 720.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd like to know more about the Moto 720, we, of course, have done a video on it, as well as it's right here.
Where?
It's a fantastic amplifier. Put a set of those on the side for me, too. You bet. We'll do. I'll get you as many of them as you need. Why is it so difficult to install a stereo to 2000 or 2024 Silverado? I mean, technically, it's not. Okay, so difficulty comes... All right, why is something difficult? The main reason why something is difficult is because, one, there's usually not a lot of information about it, so you have to be one of those guys that is willing to just charge right in and just be like, I feel I have enough mental fortitude in order to handle this situation. At other places, and sometimes people are like, I don't want to do that. I want someone else to figure it out and tell me how. I'm like, okay, that's fair too. So either way, that's fantastic there to do. So it's not like super difficult, but it does have its moments. The last one of these we did I don't know if it was 2024 or 2023. We did the Metra, which we did the whole little thing and how it controls the door chime and does all those fun things, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Regardless of what you're installing in, there's inherent problems in a lot of these new vehicles, such as filtering that are put down by the manufacturer. And depending on what your end goal is, it may need to be removed or repaired, and or it could just stay. Okay, so that's the thing. So when it comes to like asking the questions of like, hey, how do I do this? It's like, okay, so what do you really want to do? And once you figure that out, then it's easier to be like, okay, you need this. In a perfect world, everything would have something like an Amp Pro, an AR, or a Zen module. And there will be one for this eventually, I'm assuming, because they've got one for the older version of it that can do magical things. Why would we not get one for the newer one? Other than time and money, which is usually the two things that screw things up. So that's why Kicker came out with the key, because when Kicker was approached by these companies, they were like, well, we're going to be limited.
Thank you, Victor. Same for you, buddy.
We're going to be limited by what we can use these things in. Meaning, if PAC doesn't develop an Amp Pro, or iData doesn't develop an AR, or Zen doesn't develop a solution, or Mobridge doesn't come up with something for this, then we can't put our equipment in their cars. So they said we need a solution in-house that we can just put into any vehicle and solve what we're seeing is going to happen, because they build OEM products, so they know what the OEM is going to be putting in them, and they also spend a lot of time and money like talking to these companies that make these things. And so to them, it was a natural, like, hey, we could just make this really cool de-equalization circuit that they put into the Key Loc, and that'll just go through and fix all this stuff. And so that anyone, if they've got two speaker wires that they can attach to, and there's no other solution, you put a Key Loc in it, and it takes care of all that nonsense. You don't have to do anything other than hit a button and play tracks. So that's kind of like the de facto. It's like, hey, what are we going to do? We're going to put an amplifier in here. Do we know what it is? No, it's a brand new car. Okay, so we know we need two things. We need load resistance, because that's important. So we need to put some kind of load on it. So neither one of those products, the Key Loc or the Key, have proper load resistance. So you're going to need to pick up some 30 ohm load resistors to put in there. So, like the AudioControl LGD 30s or LGD greens. I'm sorry, 20s, not 30s. You need 20 ohm load resistors. So that's the LGD greens that you can get either from Metra or from AudioControl. Memphis also has them too. So you're going to need those to properly load the amplifier down. And then you're going to be like, okay, now I need to fix the signal. Do I need to fix the signal? I might not need to fix the signal because I'm not worried about it. Like, I just want to make it louder. So, okay, cool. Throw an amp in there and pray that it does what you want it to. And if it doesn't, well, then you're like, I need an EQ. It's like, okay, well, let's fix the signal, and then we can re-EQ it the way we want. And so that's what a Key Loc will do for us. It'll fix the signal, and then we can re-EQ it any way we want. So when you throw the key amplifier in there, it's going to do its magic. It just has a hard time without fixing the signal before it comes in there. Now, it will be able to do it, and it will perform, because like not everyone understands what an all-pass filter is, and not everyone is like cool enough to watch this show or figure these things out. So they'll throw them in there. And typically what will happen with the amplifier, if you don't correct for the all-pass filter, is that the image will be off in the center. And as the music plays, it might do this, what we call swimming, okay, where her voice might rock across the dash a little bit. To most people, that's like, oh my God, this is amazing, because it doesn't sound like it's coming out of the corner of the vehicle anymore, which is all they're going for. So they're not going to take the time to question it past that, because it's louder and it sounds better. They don't know what's going on. They don't care. So, where somebody like us goes, no, we need to fix this because this is dumb, and it's going to sound better. And they're like, okay, if you say so. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. That was a long answer. I'm sorry. It took us almost all the way through Arc Audio, though.
Yeah.
I know. Brad's over there going, well, for one, he's probably now sitting in his comfy chair. Oh, dude. So I was talking to him the other day. You know what he has? What? He got the comfy chairs from the Maxell, the Blown Away ad, the Maxell ad where the guy's sitting in front of the JBL speakers and he's doing this. Mm-hmm, he got those chairs. Mm-hmm. I was like, you suck. He's like, because he's building his 2-channel audio room. I was like, Okay. Amp rack guy. Amp rack guy again. Have you ever used a linear actuator to reveal the rack when you want to show it off? Actually, it's funny you should say that, because Brian Mitchell from Arc Audio, his new little robot car that he's building, that's what we did. That's what he did. Let me rephrase that. So if you haven't seen any pictures of this, we'll definitely have some if we make it out to World Finals, because it's going to be there. The one little part of the car that we contributed to it is that we did the wiring, the signal wiring coming out of the amplifier while we were in California, and it's on a motorized amp rack. So when you see his beautiful copper amplifiers, and then he hits his button and they lift up, and you can see where we designed a channel to run the wire down through the linear actuator that controls it. But as far as me, I'm not a linear actuator guy because I've never been. I think they're cool, but I just never was in my tool bag. I wasn't selling that stuff back then. People weren't asking. So no, actually, that was the thing. At AVE, we never did actuators because that would involve somebody actually asking someone to spend money on an actuator, and I wasn't talking to these people. So it was usually sell the cheapest thing possible. And my 2023 Accord does the same, and I switched to the Audison Forza C8 small amp and doesn't draw much amperage, but I still hear volume dip when in Vegas during the summer. Yes, and that, Ken, that's a fantastic solution to that problem because you went to a much smaller amplifier. It's like the Forza C8, just to give more examples, because why not? Helix, small Helix, possibly a Blackbird, where you or a Pico for that matter, a Pico for sure, the Mosconi Pico amplifier. But there again, they're not the sexiness of the 530. But yeah, that is the problem.
When you guys are doing amp racks under the seat, what is the thickness of the ABS that you use?
Anti-lock ALB, anti-lock brake. Anyways, so most of the time, if it's going underneath the seat, it's getting 1/4 inch.
Yeah,
because that's usually what fits. Anything past 1/4 inch is going to jack the seat up, and even sometimes you have to plane down the ABS to 1/8 inch. Which is fine. Sometimes we'll do that. It just depends on the seat. The whole goal is to not stress the seat bolts. So you want it to be as thin as possible, but to make sure the amplifier stays in a nice solid position in the car. But not 1/8 inch, because 1/8 inch is too thin. It'll flop. So another thing to keep in mind if you are going to be doing an amp rack underneath the seat is the blown PVC, the Sentra, the Paleolite, whatever, those type of things also work really well because they're air chambered. So one, they're lighter, but two, they will compress. So you can actually, when you're putting the seat bolts back in the seat, you'll actually compress the material down to a much thinner thickness, which you cannot do with ABS because ABS is so rigid. That's why you have to plane down the ABS, whereas with the blown PVC, you don't have that problem, because it'll just do it on its own. Have you finalized the road trip playlist? No, actually, we probably won't be listening to too much radio because we just found out we have a job to do while we're driving. So
yeah, we have to.
We actually will be doing a lot of talking. We did talk about playing some music to see if Sebastian likes it. I think that might, so we might, take a break every now and then and play a song and see how he feels about it. Nothing too over the top, just, like some classic stuff, AC/DC, Metallica, that type of stuff. Maybe some Wham. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But no, we'll actually be doing work. I know. No rest for the weary. But hey, you got 9 hours in a car. You got to take advantage of the situation and do as much as you can, right? So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It says survey.
You gonna do a survey?
No, the phone, it came up and said survey. That's funny. That's too cute. Hold on. Before we do this, let's make the switch here. This is your switch. So I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna turn on my switch.
Yeah, you're gonna turn on your switch. And I'm gonna pull this up while you're doing it. Hey guys, it's that time again to talk about thinkwarestore.com. That's right. Hey, I just saw the ad come up. Oh, hey, make sure you choose you're in the USA.
Or in Canada, you can.
Yeah, you can if you're in Canada. Pick your region.
Yeah.
You can now capture in 4K. Did you see that? I mean, what better way to make awesome YouTube videos than to capture the craziness that happens in day-to-day in 4K?
Yes.
This is a U1000 So if you're looking to have the ultimate in cleanliness, clearest possible videos that you could ever possibly imagine, so you could see the nose hairs of the guy as he bounces off the windshield as he flies over the car because he was dumb enough to get out of his car at a traffic stop and come over and do this to you. And you're like, I'm in a big motorized vehicle. I'm in fear for my life. I'm running this guy over. It's just what's going to happen. And he jumps at the last minute thinking he's going to, like, superhero over the top, and he does. You get those nose hair. I'm joking. None of that. Please don't do any of that. No. But hey, there are crazy people out there, and a dash cam will help to keep you safe, help you from getting sued, and help to tell your side of the story. Yes. Yeah. So make sure to check them out at thinkwe'reastore.com, and we will be having we just got it in Fernando's car, so we're pretty excited to get that video up for you guys to see, and then we'll be, of course, using it on the road trip. So get some road trip video. Yay! Is there a house curve you can tune to help a bad recording? I have a ton of favorite songs that my system get better. I cannot stand to listen to anymore. They sound good on headphones. So basically what you're trying to say is you want your car to sound like a headphone. So here's the thing, right? Because this is a valid question. How do I make some of these sound good? And the valid answer is you want your car to sound like a headphone. And I don't mean sound like an echo chamber, but kind of figure out, like, what is your headphone sound like? What are the headphones you're listening to? And then use the EQ to kind of replicate that. So find the things that are annoying. And how you're going to do this is hopefully you have some form of an EQ with group adjust. Why that's important is because you've got 30 bands. And if you have group adjust, you can pick and do global. So you can pick your whole front stage, turn the rears off, and you can play the music, and you can have your headphones there in the car, and you can listen to them on your headphones, do it at a normal listening level, and then you can go in and be like, okay, and you can try to find where that frequency is coming in too loud, and you can drag that frequency down, maybe adjust the Q and make it wider, and so start pulling those things down and go, nope, that's not it, and putting it down. Now, when I do stuff like this, I like to have a pad of paper next to me, so I write down what it is that I've done or what it is before, and then I write down what I've done. Now, obviously, you want to make sure you save a backup of it so you can always go back to the original and or copy it over to a second preset and make all your adjustments there so you can always go back. But I always like to keep notes while I'm doing things because you go down the road too far and then you're just like, what have I done? And it just sounds terrible, and you're like, whatever. But having those headphones in the car while you're adjusting the system to kind of figure out what your target is, because our ears don't have memory and our brains don't always work that well. And then just start pulling down frequencies or pulling up frequencies, down, always down, until you can mimic that sound. That's the easiest way to do that. Sit there at a nice, cool night, and normal listening levels because you don't want to fatigue your ears, and just kind of start working through the levels. Now, not all EQs you're going to be able to do this on because not all EQs have group adjust, sorry. Anyways. So that's how we would deal with that. And then save it as a preset. 2-channel amp, 2 4-ohm mids. All of a sudden, one reads 4 ohm and the other's reading 6 ohms. Both play the same as the day they were installed. What happened? So it sounds like to me one of the motor structures, meaning the spider and or the surround on one, is getting weak. Okay. And so what will happen is it's now no longer in the gap. So what you may want to do is hold the speaker up like this and stare at it and hold them both up and see if the spider, the wavy thing, is still flat, okay? Sometimes what will happen is they'll start to seep as the speaker breaks in. It's not going to hurt the speaker because the speaker is moving, so it's still going to perform the same way it would. But when it's sitting there at rest, it sits kind of low, okay? And so that would be one of the factors that could do that. Is just speaker sag. Outside of that, if it's playing the exact same way, I don't know, but I'm guessing speaker sag. That would be the only guess I have. It's just what it is. I know. So
just make sure they are unplugged.
Well, I mean, what do you mean? Make sure they're unplugged? Plug them in, go crazy.
When you test it, no.
Well, no, you're just gonna hold it, and take a look. Oh, you mean when you're testing for ohms?
When you're testing for ohms.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to leave it in. That would be kind of weird. So good times as always. So just okay. So just to give you an idea of what is happening here, so we're getting ready to get hammered by a hurricane, which kind of sucks. 2, we're not going to, if we survive the hurricane, Friday there will be no show, so there'll be no 9 o'clock show, and Saturday there will be no show. We are going to be on the road. That doesn't mean there won't be a show. It just won't be the conventional show that you're used to at the time slot you're good to, or used to. We will be doing a live from the show if we happen to be on the road. So we're going to take our mics. For those of you that were around for back when we did the Kicker road trip, that was 9 hours of fun and excitement. We won't be doing 9 hours. I'll tell you that right now, because the trip is only 9 hours. But we will be live streaming, talking to you guys, answering questions, have a good time to kind of make up for the fact that we won't be doing these things. So make sure to look for those notifications. Whether it be Instagram or YouTube, we'll hit both just to make sure we get both of you guys and everyone will be happy. But yeah, that's it. We got another question here. It says, Dean Fernando, have you ever used standard PVC for amp racks? It's heavy but very strong. No. I mean, like I said, most of the stuff we used is the expanded PVC, which is just, Centra.
Right. Now under the seats, always on the back, and things like that where we can.
We carry the 1/2 inch, which is still light. And then, you have HDPE, which is super heavy and super rigid. We don't normally use that, but we do have it just in case we need to do something that is ridiculous and we don't have to worry about it bending or anything like that. So... don't forget to pack the box for hi-fi. No, I need to bring a box for hi-fi, and I need to bring a pair of little yellow butt connectors for Vera. He needs a bag, so I told him I'd bring him a bag. So aside from Boss, cool mounting features, what about its features, sound quality, or if there's anything else to make it a good unit compared to the big boys? Okay, so that's where we're going to fall flat, Jeff, because I got to be honest with you, I have no idea. I don't even know why I said I got to be honest with you. I just have no idea. Boss has never really been on my radar for anything like that. And the only reason why I know the screen is the coolest thing ever is because when we were there, Ada walked over to it, pressed the two little buttons and pulled it out and says, dude, this is the coolest thing they've ever done. He uses it. Absolute Electronics in Rockville, Maryland. You can always give him a call and ask him. But I'm not up on their features. I haven't had a chance to play with it. What's up, Mr. Smith? So I don't know. We're hoping to find out. That was the goal. Was for Thursday. We were supposed to have them here in the studio. Boy, that's weird. And talk to them and find out what's cool and exciting and coming. But they had to cancel because of the storm. Damn it. So don't worry. We'll know more. Stay tuned. There's a lot going on with that company that we're super excited about. Just because. And I can't wait to have them tell me more. Do you ever watch Grease?
Yes, I love it.
So, did you get that reference?
Yes.
Tell me more.
I love it. I love that movie.
When will we be able to put an aftermarket radio in a 2018 to 2022 Accords? I mean, okay. The reality is right now the products to do it are more the problem, okay? Because it's that floating screen. And there are a couple floating screens out there, and you can make a couple radios floating screens, but we really don't have a good floating screen solution yet for that. And then there's the interface, right? I don't know what the interface difference between what the current model is and what this one is, because they've now, to me, seems a lot easier because we've done away with the dual screen, which was always the problem with the older ones. You had those two screens, so it was like, I need something to go here and make this work, or it just needs to go black. So I think next year, this might be a great question to possibly have an answer for, but we'll know more next year. So it's just a few months away, and we'll have some information. My car has a tweeter on the top of the door and a speaker lower on the door. Would be a bad idea if I change the lower speaker with a coaxial speaker and leave the factory tweeter as it is? Well, okay, so let's talk about that for a minute because that's a fantastic question. And this is a question that we used to pose back in, like, when this was a thing. Like, Years ago, Rockford used to have a component system that came with 2 tweeters for the sole purpose of filling both of these holes. Tweeter up top, coaxial on the bottom. 4 tweeters are always better than 2 for some people, not particularly me, but hey, I get the idea there. Yeah. So can you do it? Of course you can do it. It depends on what your goals for the system are, and that's always the most important thing. If you're like, hey, I want a more brighter front end, then no, yeah, for sure, you're going to do it because it's going to accomplish that. You're going to take that tweeter that's already up there, and you're going to add a second tweeter to it, which means you're going to increase the ticky sound and make it more brighter front stage. Now, keep in mind it is going to be lower, so if your sound stage may shift down, because if you go with a more efficient tweeter, then that tweeter might actually outperform the higher one, which will cause everything to seem like it's moved down in the dash. It'll still be okay. It just won't sound up high. So, but there again, if that's not something you're concerned with, you just want the ultimate and louder experience, then by adding the coaxial is definitely the way to go. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're like, oh, everything you just said kind of puzzles me, well, and then the coaxial wouldn't be the greatest idea. You'd want to stick with the component set and go with something that has a tweeter and a mid bass, keeping that nice performance up high, and then having the mid bass down low. This was a question somebody asked last week where they said, is it better to go with a set of components or just a really high-end coaxial? And it was like, well, it poses the same question. If you want a lower sound stage, then okay. Or if you just want an overall loudness. But, upgrading the factory tweeters are typically crap. So keeping it in there, that prime location for a much better speaker, to me is hard to pass up. I mean, anytime somebody asks me to do that, I just kind of scratch my head and go, okay, and then we get it done and we're like totally disappointed. We're bougie, I get it. But they're like, oh, this is perfect. It's like, okay, so it fit them. That's why we do it, because they had their heart set on that. So this is one of those things where you have to decide what is the most important thing to you and then go forward with it. Hopefully now you have the knowledge to do that. Yay! Hey, Dean's favorite is Hotel California. That is my least favorite. I hate that song with a passion.
Really?
Oh, I cannot stand it.
Dude, we're going to listen to it
the whole time. The whole time.
Yes.
Yep.
I
guarantee you somebody will get in there and play that. I'll just be like, you guys suck. I hope 2025. Is a PAC Amp Pro still the best way to integrate my new system in my 2027 Ford Focus RS? You did one a year ago with the Rockford Fosgate DSR1, but I already have a DSP and my Helix P6.
2017.
Either way, I get it. Yeah, it's up there. It's words on a page. For sure. Okay, so yes, you can still do it. However, there are some better options now, because that's an A to B interface. So I like real estate. I mean, I want every inch of every piece of everything that I can get. And keeping the factory amplifier in there kind of annoys me, which I don't. Did you have to do in that? No, because that's a 16. So, okay, you know what? Yeah, just do the Amp Pro, because that factory amp is tiny. So, yeah. Yeah, but no, because you already have the DSP, I would just go with an Amp Pro and call it a day. That would be simpler. Dean, do you, because now we have the AR2, though.
Mm-hmm.
Is that shipping, I wonder?
I think so.
I don't know.
Because it's already in the website.
All right. So the reason why this is puzzling me is because iData now has the AR2, which is basically their version of an Amp Pro. So you can still take the amplifier out, use their harness. So it's like a DSR1 minus the DSP is really what it is. It's the easiest way to think about it.
It's just the integration.
So if I we have ARs, the store doesn't necessarily have them yet, but we physically have them. So I don't know if they've shipped yet. But given the option, I would go AR with the appropriate harness as opposed to an Amp Pro. But you could probably get an Amp Pro today.
Right.
So there we go. Now I feel better.
That makes sense.
Dean, do you remember around 2006 when the WRX came out and guys will buy them without a factory stereo, and it was impossible to fit speakers in the door unless you had neodymium magnets or speaker spacers? Yeah. Because the problem was that WRX was that particular vehicle was using these really weird adapters that tilted the speaker up, and so the hole behind it was super small, kind of like you would in a Honda. Now, I will tell you, if you're like me and have no fear, then you just grab an air saw and we make a bigger hole. Problem solved. But yes, no, I remember the car. We had a lot of fun. There was always that one guy that came in and be like, yo, man, check it out. And then Philip says, the AR will hook up in the place of the factory amp and the focus, then, and you would not have to take the dash apart. Correct. You are correct. It's 100% just like a DSR-1, but no DSP. So, this is it here. Like I said, we have them, but and what you have is a box. It's a little bit smaller than a DSR-1. This is your harness. This is your. There's other things that you can do with this, but you won't need this. But this plugs into here like this. Hey, and look at that! Wow. Hey, they staggered the RCAs. Wonder why they did that. This guy. And then this has all the connectors for the iData harness, so that this can go in, and then this. Ooh, good catch. This would go in right there, just like the DSR-1, but no DSP. So, fantastic. I'm so happy this piece is finally out. I think it has MPOs as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
MPOs.
Maestro programmable output.
All right. This is going to be the last question of the night.
All right, we'll answer it or ask it. Read it while I'm putting this back together.
Morel Hybrids 602 or Focal ES.
Just when we got Sony back on our side. Dude, this isn't even a question. This isn't even fair to Sony. I mean, listen, guys.
I say Focal ES. Focal.
Oh, you said Focal ES.
Yes.
Okay, I heard ES.
I know.
I saw ES. I'm sorry. I'm doing two things at once.
Okay.
Which one are the ESs?
I think they are this.
Is it the Flax?
No.
Is it K2?
Yes.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, so this brings a whole different question. Sorry. Give me a moment here. Is it K2? So. This is a tough one. Okay, so listen. K2 is an animal all on itself, all right? This is one of those things, you can remove that. K2 is one of those speakers from Focal that is, like, we've always said, you don't understand K2 until you've heard K2, because it's just such an amazing speaker. It's loud, it's dynamic, it just really gets up there and goes crazy. However, and it sounds fantastic, but it is a very dynamic speaker, whereas the hybrid is kind of an opposite of that. It's still a very dynamic speaker, it's still loud, but it is a little bit more tame. It's a little bit more calm. That big luscious silk soft dome tweeter in the hybrid set compared to that hard dome tweeter in the Focal set is really where the two extremely different. Mid bass out of both of them is fantastic. It's just a matter of, do I want hard dome with hard dome type sound, or do I want soft dome with soft dome type sound? Volume wise, they're going to be pretty much equal. It's just a matter of that. Yeah. So I thought he was talking about Sony, as I was going to say. That's simple. Just going to go hybrids. Why is that even a question? That's a tough one. Fernando's actually owned both.
Yeah. And
I'm sure he's not going to tell you which one he actually really, really liked, because he liked them both.
It is hard, man. You're not going to go wrong with either one.
No. I will say this. If you do a ton of driving, like you're driving all the time, and you get ear fatigue from just like noise, like you're flying in a plane, your ears are tight, then I would probably go Morel, just because sometimes that hard dome tweeter for an extended period of time, like 6-8 hours, can be very like.
I see, and I would do Focal just because it's like.
Yeah, I know. Right. Well, yeah, you want an 8-hour rock party.
Oh,
but
yes.
Fries.
3 in the morning.
Fries way better than potato wedges. I mean,
really?
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
Really?
Crinkle cut fries are the staple. That's the best. There's nothing else. There's nothing. Everything is just wanting to be those.
All right. So, how many chicken tenders would you eat in a meal? 6 or 8?
3.
Really?
Yeah. I don't eat a ton of food. You see what I eat during the day. I'm not a big eater. I can't eat 6 or 8.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're little tiny ones like chicken nuggets, sure.
No. This is I'm guessing chicken
regular
tenders,
chicken.
right?
Yeah, I can eat 3. 3, I'm done. Because I'm probably gonna have a drink. I'm gonna have some fries, and that's
2. I would eat 2 in the fries.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Probably 3. I don't. I mean, there again, it just depends. But curlies are okay sometimes. Actually, Arby's curly French fries with their cheddar cheese are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if somebody has a suggestion in Birmingham, Alabama, to let us know.
I thought we were just going to get meat on a stick. I thought that was going to win. I think they have meat on a stick. I thought we were going to do meat on a stick.
Meat on the stick. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I think they want to go to meat on a stick.
What? I mean, any suggestions? We're going to be...
What's the must-have road trip snack?
Oh, that's a good one.
So I like chips for one, like pretzels. I like pretzels, regular the small little pretzels or big pretzels, because I'll bite them into pieces.
Yeah,
so that's always fun.
Now that I can eat hot sauce again, I would say salsa.
Not while you're driving.
Why not?
Oh Jesus. Yeah, 2 men die from idiot eating
waffle
salsa
fries.
While driving.
No.
Tater tots are good. Waffle fries are not fries; they're waffle fries. So I was gonna say combos. Thank you. That was the other one I like is combos, because they'll just sit there and suck on them until the inside is out.
Combos?
Yeah, it's the pretzel that has the goo in the center.
Oh,
you don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Funyuns are gross. I can't do those.
They just make spicy Funyuns.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Those. Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah.
Red onions for a road trip. See, the problem is that's too much. That's too much gel, and then you just take a big red poop later, and it's just like, why does my stomach hurt?
Honey mustard pretzels.
Yeah, those are okay.
Yeah, really.
Oh yeah. Those are the exotic ones.
Pepperoni.
Steak fries or shoestring fries. Steak fries, shoestring fries are just.
What about
terrible.
beef jerky? Do you like beef jerky?
I don't eat beef.
You don't eat beef.
So no, jerky's not one of my things. Combos or the peanut butter pretzel things. The peanut butter pretzel things are good. That's where they have pretzel inside of a peanut butter, or peanut butter inside of a pretzel.
What is the bag that you eat that has everything?
Party mix. The party mix.
That's what they have.
Yeah, so it's pretzels, Cheez-Its,
yes,
Doritos.
I like the
chips.
spicy ones. So.
Yeah, of course. The problem is that
really?
Yeah, but
I would try.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Okay. Yeah.
But it's trail mix. Definitely do trail mix. Always have trail mix.
Yeah.
M&Ms are another one. Peanut M&Ms, which is just like trail mix all in one.
I like those.
Yeah, so there you go. Peanut butter M&Ms. I like road trips with Cheerios and Budweiser. Or Cheetos and Budweiser. Sorry, I thought it said Cheerios. I was like, okay, some Honey Nut Cheerios might actually.
Okay,
be
I would take the Cheetos.
Yeah.
But I would, replace the Budweiser for a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, no, I'm more of a turkey guy, so I just can't do beef jerky. It's no good.
All right.
But either way, listen, guys, it's take fives. What am I OC?
What about if you might just send us the,
Boston cream? Or a turkey sandwich and
turkey sandwiches.
Listen, guys, that's it for the show today. Remember, we are going to be on a road trip. Turkey jerky, baby.
Yeah.
We're going to be on a road trip. Hopefully, if this hurricane gets through and we come through unscathed, stay tuned to Instagram if you'd like to keep up with what's happening here at 5 Star through this fun event, because we'll be going live, whether Fernando's with me or not.
Tomorrow.
We will definitely be live tomorrow. Because even though we're not working, we are actually going to be here working. We're trying to finish the car before we leave. We have a couple more projects that we're almost done with, so
we're competing, man.
We are not competing at all, other than with time. Just stay tuned to Instagram, and we'll let you know what's happening. But if we end up going, make sure to pay attention to your YouTube feeds, because we will be doing road trip Q&A. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh. We don't have a bunch of 15s to play.
Well,
but hey, it'll still be fun.
We might be busy.
Yes, live from the road trip. No, I mean, we got to take breaks, man.
Anyway, if you are here in Florida, stay safe. Hey.
Forget it. Run around with your underwear on your head. Zigzag formation.
Yes, don't do that. Just
run in a zigzag formation. They can't get to you. All right, guys. You have a wonderful day. We'll see you guys later. Bye.